Christmas ideas for minimalists. And no, it does not include flying cows. Unless they're real. That would be pretty dope. So that my gifted cow has a purpose, I'm gonna set him here to join us for today's episode. This is just gonna be a quick video. Right before Christmas, I wanted to upload a video talking about some ideas for what to get minimalists in your life for Christmas, because I know we can be very difficult to buy for. Number one is going to be some kind of soup kit or meal kit, and that can either be homemade or picked up from somewhere. The only thing you need to think about with this is if your family member or friend might have a food allergy, you might need to ask them that ahead of time. I know for me, I can't eat any gluten, so if someone gave me a soup kit and it had wheat in it, I would really appreciate it, but no matter how much I loved what they picked out, I'm not going to eat it because it will poison me. Number two, lottery tickets. The nice thing about this is that it doesn't take up any space, and once you use them, you can just throw them away. And then sometimes they get the fun of winning a prize, other times it's just fun to scratch it off, waste some time, and see if you won anything. Number three, cash is king. You will never go wrong by giving a minimalist a check or a $100 bill. They will always be able to use it for exactly what they want to be able to use it for. It's gas. But yeah, can't go wrong with cash. Number four is some kind of small game or card game, something that they can play with their friends but that doesn't take up a ton of space. I know for me in the van, I always missed playing Catan because we can't fit the board game. But now I have this, which is basically the traveler's kit for Catan. Again, it depends on what minimalist you're buying for, because obviously for us, we live in a van, so a small version of a game is going to be fantastic for us, but for a minimalist that lives in a house, maybe they have room for an actual physical game, and that's something that's important to them and something they might want. Oh my gosh, I am so loving the idea of filming this out here right now. Number five is kind of similar. It's an escape room in a box. This is a game that is usually only used once and then is thrown away, so be careful what type of minimalist you give this to, because if you give this to an ethical minimalist, they're probably going to be upset that they got a one-use game that they have to put in a landfill forever. But if you give it to a space minimalist, like someone who lives in a tiny space and would like to be able to discard something after it is played or used, then it'd be a good gift idea. But those can take up to an hour or two, and you can even play it with them. It's kind of an experience present just as much as a physical gift present. Next, we've got tiles. And my sisters gave me these because these you can actually put on anything, whether it's your phone or your keys or your wallet. And the nice thing about tiles is that they're super tiny, but at the same time, minimalists don't have a lot of stuff, but the stuff they do have matters to them. So if they're losing their stuff all of the time, tile cards are cool. It's a unique gift. And I think they're only like 20 bucks or so. So if you're wanting to get them something that isn't like an experience, which could be like 100 bucks, go with a tile. Number 8 is an Ancestry DNA Kit, so one of those kits that they can mail off a little bit of their saliva and then get their family history, as well as match up with family. Now for some people this could be even more special than others, depending on how much they know about their history. Otherwise, it's just really fun to see. You learn new things about yourself. I know my mom is a lot more Italian than she originally thought she was, which was fun to watch her discover. Next is an America the Beautiful Park Pass. This gets you into all of the national parks. I believe it's about $107, but it pays for itself within 2 park visits. So if they're planning on going to any more than 1 park during the year, they'll get good use out of that pass. And it's also shareable with other people that are in their vehicle. Number 10 is getting them specifically what they ask for. So give them a price range, say, hey, I'm able to spend $30, what is it that you want? Or I'm able to spend $50, I'm able to spend $10, what is it that you want? And get them that very specific thing and don't deviate from it. So I know it takes some of the fun out of Christmas gift giving, and I understand that, but you will make a minimalist very happy if you get them exactly what they asked for. Number 11, ask them for a specific piece of gear that they need. Gear is not specific to a certain sport or a certain hobby. For example, I'm a videographer, so I have gear for that, but then I'm also a climber, so I have gear that I like to have for that. My brother-in-law actually gifted me a rock climbing helmet, which was very nice. But what's great about gear is that you can actually watch them use it, and you know that it's also potentially keeping them safe, at least if it's a piece of climbing gear, biking gear, running gear. But for a videographer, gear would look more like SD cards, or maybe a new lens cap, or a new mic, or a tripod, or something like that. So if you have a hobbyist in your life that's also a minimalist, you can work off of that and choose them some kind of gear related to their hobby. Number 11 is a coffee shop gift card. I don't know what the correlation is between minimalists and enjoying coffee shops, but there's definitely a strong correlation. We need to get a scientist out there doing that study. But anyway, yeah, coffee shop gift cards, usually minimalists love them. Then they can go to the coffee shop, read, write, work, whatever it is that they do. Just make sure that you get it to a coffee shop they'll actually be able to go to. I got a lot of Starbucks gift cards this year because since we're traveling around all the time, there's not just one specific coffee shop we can go to over and over again unless it's more of a chain like that, like Starbucks is. Next, we've got a good book, especially if you write under the cover, like maybe,
hey, this book made me think of you. I'd love for you to get to read it, but then once you're done, feel free to re-gift it to someone else or someone else that you think needs to read this book.
Kind of takes that pressure off of feeling like they need to keep the object. Kind of the same concept with the escape room in a box game is they can use it and then they can get rid of it. If they're a creator of some kind and they sell merch or stickers or art, or if they have a Patreon like I do, which is a page where you can go and support local creators and artists that you enjoy watching, or sometimes it's not watching, sometimes if you enjoy their physical art, whatever it is they make, it's for artists of all kinds. But basically, one of the best things you can do for a creator or a minimalist is support what they're already doing. The best thing about that is that sometimes you can support that person by buying through their website or through their store. But then if that's a physical gift, you can also give that present to somebody else. So it can sometimes be a double whammy there. Wow, did I just really say double whammy? It's the hypothermia. Number 15 is your help on a project. You can also split materials costs. So if you notice someone needs an extra counter in their kitchen, or maybe they need a new cabinet for storage space, if you have the skills to help them build those things, you can help build it with them. You can also spend some time with them. On top of that, you can also help them with some of the materials costs, which are pretty pricey these days. So sometimes it's really helpful if two people go in on something instead of one, and just to have like a brainstorming partner on how to do that. And then that's something that will be in their house or in their space, or that they'll use all the time and they'll remember building it with you. Number 16 is subscriptions. So whether that's a Netflix account, or maybe giving them an Audible account so they can listen to different audiobooks each month, or maybe it's a subscription to an editing software. I know I pay $40 a month just to have my Adobe Premiere. So you can give them just partial subscriptions or total subscriptions to help them do what they like to do, whether that's their art or listening to books, or maybe it's subscription to a podcast. Anyway, the possibilities are endless there, but a subscription is something that person would enjoy. Next up is the gift of education. Some people really like to learn things, so I know for me, I would love to take a camera class on how to understand my camera better, or for others it might be a cooking class, or Justin and I took dancing classes together, or even ice skating classes. I think sometimes people forget that just because you're an adult doesn't mean that you don't enjoy going and doing things. It's not just kids that can go and do those. I've even heard of adults going and learning tumbling, like gymnastics tumbling for the first time. I've also seen lots of adults enjoy rock climbing for the first time. So don't forget that you can gift someone learning a new skill, and then they'll have that for probably the rest of their lives. My next suggestion is meal subscription packages. This would not work for VanLifers if they're moving around all the time, or if they don't have specific things in their kitchen, like we don't have an oven or a microwave. We just have like stovetop. So make sure that you're seeing if this gift is the right fit for the person you're buying. But if it's someone who maybe has a busy schedule and lives in a house and is able to receive packages like that, meal subscription kits are awesome because you're gifting them an experience and food at the same time. Again, check for the food allergies. Always check for the food allergies. Second to last, gift an experience. So maybe a concert, a guided adventure, a massage. Oh, I'm in a snow globe. Next one. Last but not least, you can support a charity or organization that they believe in and then present that to them. Sometimes on top of that, like I know if you support the Wildlife Conservatory, they give you a little blanket with a cardinal on it, or sometimes they give you a calendar, so you can gift that as well. My choice would be Access Fund, and if you support Access Fund, you usually get a cool t-shirt. A lot of times the charities or the organizations that people support, they support them for some kind of heartfelt or personal reason. So supporting them in that and giving to those organizations really means a lot to people, especially around Christmas time with all the holiday spirit of giving. Okay, well, it is freezing out here. It is dropping about a degree every 10 minutes, I would say. So I'm gonna leave you go. I guess I'll end off today's video with Mr. Cow. Don't ask me why I thought this was good to put in the video. I just had to figure out how to incorporate him somehow. I'm pretty sure he's gonna live in the front of my van, and everywhere we go, he's gonna be our guard flying cow. Bye, subscribe. As you can tell, we're under a winter storm warning. I gotta show you what Justin looks like right now though. Hey Jay. Hi. You living your dream life?
Cold.
Are you gonna be okay?
My fingers feel like they're gonna fall off.
Yeah? Do we need to,
No, we need to get it done.
You will never go wrong by buying a minimalist cash. Buying a minimalist cash. Can you buy cash?